Looks like Shuichi got it. I'll leave the rest to him.
Kaito, I know how you feel. I know because we all feel it. But we have to face the truth. No matter how cruel that truth may be, we need to face it to survive.
Whose side are you on, Shuichi?
Kaito, please.
Aren't you my sidekick? Was that just a lie?
This dude's a baby face. Man.
Kaito!
Fine then! I'll tear that sorry reasoning of yours apart and wake you up! I'll never accept this! Don't you know Gonta at all? He's not the kind of guy who kills someone. Don't you know that about him by now? I'll never accept this! Don't you know Gonta at all?
I mean, Kaito's got his points, but...
He's not the kind of guy who kills someone. Damn it! Why won't you believe
Like,
Gonta?
you need to balance your, like, emotion.
Aren't you my sidekick?
The problem is, though, that there could easily... Like, we've made other explanations for situations like how could fucking Kokichi have fucking, strangled her a different way.
My sidekick? Wake up, Shuichi!
Like, we've done so much crazier shit before.
Why are you listening to Kokichi?
I don't really like that this fucking thing, like, stops. Like, look at it, like, it, like, slows down at the end. It's really stupid.
Who do you want to believe?
This rhythm game's fucking dumb sometimes.
Remember what Kokichi has done to us! Remember how Gonta's always tried to protect us! How could Gonta be the culprit? Still want to accuse him, huh? Saying the truth this, the truth that. There's a reason Gonta's not the culprit! Who do you want to believe? Remember what Kokichi has done to us! Remember how Gonta's always tried to protect us! How could Gonta be the culprit? Still want to accuse him, huh? Saying the truth this, the truth that. There's a reason Gonta's not the culprit! Who do you want to believe?
I mean, you could just say that the truth is right, but that he's just a shitty detective and can't figure out the right reason.
There's no way to leave the mansion from the rooftop!
Oh, discover toilet paper outside of the mansion. Toilet paper on the mansion.
Kokichi has done to us!
I thought they were going for a broken sentence, then I realized you could get it.
There's no way to leave the mansion from the rooftop! Who do you want to
Is
believe?
that not right? Did I put it in the wrong order? Is this another fucking meat on the paper fucking sort of deal?
There's no way to leave the mansion
Discovered
from the rooftop.
toilet paper outside of the mansion.
Who do you want to
Did I just like look at that wrong, or
remember what Kokichi has done to us? Damn it! There's no way to leave the mansion from the rooftop. Who do you want to believe? Remember what Kokichi has
what's
done
like
to
the
us?
real way to do it?
Damn it! There's no way to leave the mansion from the rooftop.
Toilet paper discovered outside the mansion? What the fuck's wrong with the other thing? How can they make so many bad sentences in these final fucking things, man?
The toilet paper we found outside the mansion. That's what the culprit used to get from the roof to the ground.
What happened to
Toilet paper?
What happened to Kaito saying that, oh, you should just trust whoever you want to trust, and if you get proven wrong, then that just means that you're not smart enough and you need to, you know, like, think about things a bit more the next time or whatever, like. Like, didn't he say that he's fully ready to be wrong sometimes? Like, that's cool if he wants to go full in on this, but like, the dude like won't accept defeat. I mean, I'm not saying Gonta's actually the killer. It could be like a really clever Kokichi trick, but
That's why we didn't find it anywhere else. Not at the scene of the crime, nor on Miu's body. It was outside the mansion.
Hold on. If they use the toilet paper as a rope to get down from the roof, then they need to tie it to something. But there was nothing to tie it to. I know because I investigated the roof.
You're stubborn, Kaito. You're still going on about this.
Of course I am. I'm gonna believe in Gonta till the very end.
No, there was something that the toilet paper could have been tied to.
What?
There! The binoculars on the rooftop. The toilet paper could have been tied there. However, I don't think the culprit actually tied it down there. They just hung it. And then used the doubled up toilet paper to climb down. But in that case, they would have had to tug on it in order to take it down.
Yep, that's correct. Because I came up with that idea. But I thought I told Gonta to put the toilet paper back in the bathroom. Oh, I guess he ran into someone on the way and then threw it somewhere close by.
just waiting to see if he does like a slip up or we see something else. Meat on the paper.
Looks like Kaito's morale is shot, so this whole thing is done now.
The matter does appear to be settled.
That... it's...
So, it's true. Gonta really killed Miu.
But I'm the one who came up with the plan. Anyway, just admit your crime, Gonta. Even though you don't remember, you still did it.
But why did Gonta do such a terrible thing?
Wait, before you start crying, you gotta admit your crime first.
Stop. I won't let you, Kokichi. If anyone is gonna get him to confess, it's me. Gonta, I'm going to look back at the whole case one more time, okay? When you're convinced, you just let me know, all right? Let's end this together.
Okay.
Okay. I'll probably vote for Kokichi either way. Just for shits. Just to see what happens. I've never voted for the wrong person, so even if he's the right person, it works out. If he's the wrong person, then we get a seed. But who knows? Oh, whoops. Except all the things he did wrong. Yeah.
This is the truth.
Has there ever been something he did right, man? Let's be real.
The case began last night. After being convinced by Mew, we all logged into the virtual world. To log in, you have to plug the memory and consciousness cords into the device.
The game more fun
We all
for
plug those
himself.
cords into our helmets and enter the virtual world.
I don't think anybody else is having more fun but him.
But the culprit had accidentally plugged their cords into the wrong ports. Because of this, a connection error occurred between the culprit's brain and their avatar.
For me, birds of a feather, man. That's awfully big coincidence that he fucked that up and now he can't defend himself, man. He's not smart enough to defend himself. I still feel like it's bullshit, possibly.
As a result,
Very
the culprit
convenient
would
shit
forget
if it ends up being
everything that happened in the virtual
Gonta.
world. It's possible that this had an effect on their avatar's personality as well.
And Kokichi planned this from the start, obviously. So it makes you wonder, if he planned it from the start, how did he know that Gonta was gonna fuck up the fucking memory thing? Unless he just switched the colors or something. Unless. That didn't happen. I'm sorry, Father. I just couldn't take it anymore. I'm running away from home.
Because I can't believe that someone so kind could commit murder. But we had no idea this error even happened. And so, we all logged in one by one. Meanwhile, Mew was the last to log in. She had modified the killing game simulator so she could accomplish a specific goal. After Mew confirmed we were all logged in,
My boy just might not be good enough detective, man. Couldn't find out the right way it happened.
and placed it on Kokichi's seat. This was done to make it look like Kokichi was killed by poison when we returned. Yes, the reason Mew modified the simulator and brought us to the virtual world was to kill Kokichi in the virtual world, but make it look like he had died in the real world. After we had all logged in, Mew explained the world to us. Use the salon phone to log out. Objects are unbreakable. Your avatars use all 5 senses. She also explained the map of the virtual world in the mansion's entrance hall, but her explanation was intentionally false. She wanted us to misunderstand the world. However, one of us was able to see through her scheme. The very person Mew was trying to kill, Kokichi. Kokichi was going to use Mew's plan against her and plotted her murder, but Kokichi wouldn't do it himself. He used a patsy to be the culprit in this case. Kokichi was tight-lipped about the motive, so I don't know why the
This is the part that I'm like curious
But
about.
it seems as though right after logging in, when Kokichi and the culprit went outside, they were already working together to execute the murder. Eventually, we met up with Kokichi and crossed the river to the chapel. Mew had us split up to try to find some secret of the outside world. Kaito, Kokichi, Gonta, Tsumugi, and I investigated the mansion, while Maki, Himiko, Kibo, and Mew, in splitting us up, was all
Excuse me.
at the chapel. Mew told Maki that she was going to look around outside. She chased after our group while we were heading toward the mansion. Once she made sure we were across, she dropped the bridge into the river. This was to trick us into thinking that the river
Clean that
separated
shitty
the mansion
bitch
and
up.
chapel. At the time, we thought nothing of it. It was just another one of Mew's pranks.
If they don't
That's
explain
why
how
we
I
continued
persuaded
the
them, if this
original
is
plan
true, I'm
find
gonna be
the secret of the
disappointed.
outside world. We went to the mansion and split up to look for clues. Kokichi searched the salon. Kaito searched the roof. Tsumugi searched the dining room. I searched the kitchen. And finally, the culprit. Around that time, Mew was headed for the wall that was on the side of the chapel. She passed through the wall and headed for the mansion to kill Kokichi. You see, the wall was a special wall. This wall was programmed, and Mew had changed her avatar. That was the hidden route she prepared for herself. She set up a wall that only she... Mew headed toward the mansion.
Reading only mode right now.
When she entered the mansion, she didn't tell us that there was a... Then, she spoke a name into... It was Kaito who was on the roof, the same roof where Kokichi and Mew... By having Kaito search the roof, and she was making him look the... Kokichi was waiting on the roof with a culprit and a toilet.
Nobody has social commentary, maybe. How clever.
While Mew was distracted by Kokichi, the culprit snuck up from behind. and used the toilet paper from the mansion's bathroom to strangle Mew. This was only possible because objects in the virtual world are unbreakable. Mew's avatar was strangled to death, and the shock killed Mew in the real world. After the murder, Kokichi left the cleanup to the culprit and left the roof.
Well, I think anything might be suspicious. Like maybe she was strangled within like an inch of her life and she passed out and then she got slid into the fucking wall and killed. Like
He
probably still have a
returned to the salon
similar
as soon as he could to avoid drawing suspicion.
deal. Maybe because she'd be passed out, she couldn't know that she got hit a wall. I wonder if that's how it works.
The culprit then took the lattice from the storage room and placed Mew's body on top along with the hammer and the cell phone.
The hammer and the cell phone.
The culprit heaved the lattice over the railing and forcefully slid it down. With a body on top of it, the lattice became a makeshift sled and flew off the roof. It went through the wall that only objects can pass through before crashing into the chapel. That was the crashing sound that Kibo heard. Mew's wall hid the fact. That's why Tsumugi and I were...
Wait, no. Let's get to the
As
punchline.
the final step, because we were at the mansion, so they used the toilet paper again. They hung the toilet paper from the binoculars on the roof and used it like a rope to climb down. Once the culprit was safely on the ground, they pulled at the toilet paper to
Maybe it was a good way to offset some of the
They would have returned it to
the action on screen.
but they ran into us as we were leaving the mansion.
Cornerstone of obnoxious jokes.
In a panic, the culprit tossed the toilet paper somewhere nearby.
Better than Kaido.
Without that one little mistake, we might never have solved this case, because the culprit doesn't remember. This is the truth you've forgotten, Gonta Kokuhara, the ultimate entomologist. Gonta, this is the truth we've reached.
Sorry. Going to not really understand. Because going to not smart boy. But if everyone agree, then everyone probably right. Going to trust everyone.
Gonta.
But why? Going to kill Mew. Forget everything. Going to even think he not do anything bad. And then going to try to blame someone else. And make everyone suffer. Why? Why going to do such terrible thing?
I like the story and the case a lot. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. The difficulty is like, I really don't give a fuck in Danganronpa that much. Like, it's cool when it's like clever, but it's also annoying when it tries to be too complicated. It's really not like a reason I play Danganronpa,
Gonta, it's not your fault.
but it is pretty damn easy, this one is, for sure. My biggest problem with the difficulty was that they led your hand way too hard in the first half.
It's Kokichi's fault. He must have tricked Gonta.
Huh? I totally didn't trick him. Before we go into that, it's voting time. We should finish up the class trial first.
But is this the right answer? We're not being fooled by Kokichi?
For once, I wish that we were.
Huh? Wrapping things up already? What a kill of an ending. It lacks the rush of previous voting times. Well, after so many killing games, I guess it was bound to happen eventually.
Time I get to the trial, yeah. I feel like that's just a result of them wanting to do this Kokichi lead-on thing. They cared more about that than actually making something difficult to understand or figure out. I don't mind it being like moderate difficulty. I don't care if it's like really hard. But being led on for like an hour for something that's really easy to figure out, that kind of sucks, but I don't know. I really enjoyed the case overall. I really don't think it's bad at all. But I don't think any of them are bad.
It's just as well. This kill.
Oh my, Monotaro. You're even starting to look like a father.
Yeah, this is one of those how did it's, not who did it ones. Which is good, as long as there's like a mystery the whole way.
I gotta get my act together for the baby. Now then, pull yourselves together and let's begin! The heart-racing excitement as the blackened and the spotless face off! It's voting time!
Well, I guess we could vote on him. I could just vote on him for fun. Wonder how far back you go if you vote on a particular person. Let's find out just for fun. I'm curious. The off chance also it was him. Oh, it just goes for him anyways. Well, your vote doesn't matter.
Who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the...
That's interesting.